सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees who are sitting with us live around the world. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today's subject is again asanas, aligning to awakening. 98th Patanjali's Yoga Sutra and 47th verse in second chapter. In second chapter, 47th verse in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 98th Sutra. Prayatna Saitilyananta Samabadhyabhyam. Prayatna Saitilya Ananta Samabadhyabhyam. Samapadhyabhyam. Swami Vivekananda translates this sutra as through the lessening of the natural tendency for activity caused by identification with the body and through meditation on the infinite, posture becomes firm and pleasant. Swami Prabhavananda translates this sutra as posture becomes firm and relaxed through control of the natural tendencies of the body and through meditation on the infinite. Swami Sachidananda translates as by lessening the natural tendency for restlessness and meditating on the infinite, posture is mastered. Prayatna Saitilya Ananta Samapadhyabhyam. Each word is a technical term. The orthodox translations say, through the lessening of the natural tendency for activity caused by identification with the body and through meditation on the infinite, posture becomes pleasant and firm. Let me try to give my insight, my experience. How the asana, posture becomes steady and comfortable. How your body can be aligned towards superconsciousness and how the posture becomes steady and comfort. Prayatna Saitilyananta, Prayatna Saitilya Ananta Samabadhyabhyam. Through the effort, I am trying to give you idea, the exact insight. I am not just translating. Through the prayatna and samabadhyabhya, it's a very deep, subtle truth. I can say this sutra can be a technique to live enlightenment every moment. See, two things you need to do. to achieve the aligning to awakening. One, work intensely. Second, continuously when you work, meditate on unending infinite cosmos, means unclutching. All your postures are to align yourself with the cosmos. If you unclutch and work intensely, you will just align yourself with the cosmos. That's it. If you unclutch and work intensely, you will automatically align yourself with the cosmos. Please understand. So prayatna, I am translating prayatna in a new way. Not just effort to sit in that particular posture. I am translating prayatna as a intense hard work. Work at least 12 hours a day. Let there be physical and mental activity at least 12 hours a day. You may think, oh God, that looks too much. But I tell you, for some reason, either to be productive to the society and make your life rich, or just some social service, in some way, work at least 12 hours. The funny part is, you will never be able to work for 12 hours if you are working for profit. Means to make your life more luxurious, more comfortable. Because your biomemory is such, it will give way. It will say after maximum 6 hours of work, it will say no, enough. If I have to work more than this to make myself comfortable, I don't want that comfort. It will just do a strike. Then how to work for 12 hours? The remaining 6 hours? Decide to do some non-profit activity. I tell you, non-profit activity is the ultimate creativity. Seva is the ultimate creativity. You will never become tired if you learn the trick of seva. The trick of seva means the knack of seva, means knack of serving without remembering the result, just working as a lifestyle. How? You don't breathe for purpose. You know it is your life. For life you breathe. Same way. Prayatana, effort, just as life. Working physically or mentally or physically and mentally. 12 hours a day. Take this as a spiritual instruction. Try. You may think, no, I'll become tired and all that. No, nothing. Just try. Try for next 2 months. You will see the asana happens in you. Working for 12 hours a day in unclutched way. Whenever you remember, let the inner space be unclutched, the outer body be intensely working. You will see aligning to awakening happens. Please understand. Empty mind is devil's workshop. I tell you, empty body is devil's residence. Devil goes for work only for few hours. He resides in his house for a long time. The lazy body is devil's residence. Empty mind is devil's workshop, lazy body is devil's residence. I'm giving you completely a different insight. Some of the orthodox translations say that reduce the activity which comes out of the idea that you are the body. I am saying the same thing in a very practical way. When you unclutch and start living, please understand, after unclutching, start living. Don't start waiting for death. I'm seeing so many of these Vedantis. The moment they learn a little bit of some Vedantic ideas, they stop living. They are just dragging their life, waiting for death. No. Unclutch and start living. Be active, alive, intense. As long as you don't physically become active in unclutched way, the suppressed pain engrams in you will continue to haunt you. One of the major problems all the male Vedanta sannyasis suffer is the laziness leads to indulgence and creation of new engraved memories. One of the major problems all the female Yoga Vedantis, sannyasis suffer is the physical laziness leads to the indulgence of the past suffering engrams. Please understand. All of you, followers of me, students of me, disciples of me, devotees of me, even if you are married, your mental setup is evolved to such a way you are Yoga Vedanta sannyasi. So if you are male, the major problem you suffer is due to the laziness caused by the non-appliance of proper unclutching creates indulgence and new engrams. If you are female, because of the non-appliance of proper unclutching, the laziness causes, makes you indulge continuously in the past suffering and engrams. So understand, the ultimate aligning to awakening happens by intense, please understand, intense working. Take up for profit or non-profit work, something. I tell you, this non-profit work, the seva, service, is the highest form of creativity. There you get all opportunity, possibility, everything to express your creativity. I can give you one more insight and understanding. When the aligning to awakening happens, even your words will be a great service to the world. You can serve the world not only physically, even by uttering right words, giving right truths, right understanding to people. Even that can be a very powerful, amazing service to the world. So please understand, aligning to awakening. Some more deeper insights into asana. From my own mentor, Raghupati Yogi. When he was training me into asana, he will make me do such intense, heavy activities like shifting stones and rocks from one place to another, one corner to another, and from the corner back to the same place. It is not directly productive, but he will insist, no, do that. And after certain exhaustion, when I feel exhausted, then he'll ask me to do the same work in an unclutched way, means meditating on the all-pervasiveness, meditating on the infinite. I used to very clearly experience, first if I work, that shifting a stone from right corner to left corner for 6 hours and I am tired, after he initiates me into the technique of meditating on infinite, next 6 hours I will be able to work, shifting the stones from here to this corner, back. I tell you, meditate on the infinite continuously, which means unclutching. Meditate on the infinite continuously, go on and on and on. Take this as a process. Work for 12 hours a day. Something physically or mentally. If you don't have any work, contact our centers. We have a lot of work. Take this as a spiritual practice. I tell you, all the engrams which are not letting your body to align to awakening will leave your system, and you will be aligned to the awakening. I tell you, every action either releases or creates certain engram in you. If your action is done not inspired by the engram, but meditation on the infinite. See, if you are engaged by the engrams, it is engagement. If you are inspired by the infinite, it will lead to samadhipatya, what Patanjali calls samapadipatibhyam. Samapadibhyam, the state of ultimate consciousness, aligning to awakening. So I am making this whole sutra as a practical process which you can do every day. Do your regular job which you need to do to keep yourself alive for survival necessities, food, clothes, money. Keep your regular job. Apart from that, continue to do more activity, work, by meditating on the infinite. By meditating on infinite. Please understand. By meditating on infinite, when more and more activities are performed, when more and more actions are done, you have no other way. simply your engrams will leave your system. I tell you one small example. Every action releases some engrams from your system. Even during the levitation which is happening in your body, when the Kundalini is awakened, all the stored suppressed engrams leaves your body. You can see lot of violence will leave your system. Lot of fantasies and greed will leave your system. Just the intense physical vibration, your deep craving for the physical pleasure and fantasies will leave your system. Intense movement of the body, your stored deep fears will leave your system. Fears, the desire for pleasure, fantasy, all this leaves your system just like that by this levitation. You may think how the levitation is leading to transformation. This is the way I understand. This is science of levitation. When you are encaged by the engrams, you are gravitating means you are just pulled down. All I am doing when I awaken your Kundalini is just make your short-sighted intellect into a vast-sighted intelligence. Make your life energy alive. Naturally, your ego dissolves into life energy. For those few moments, your intense bioenergy gets awakened. Naturally, when the bioenergy gets awakened, you are no more tied down by the engrams, engraved memories. Soon, very soon, I'll measure the physical weight of engrams and prove the science of levitation. It is possible, actually. I have a good news for all of you. The recent inner awakening, the December 2010 inner awakening, we have done so many medical research and scientific researches. I challenged the scientific community to come and do some research on this inner awakening process. How the whole process does the physical healing, mental healing and awakening of the deeper strands of DNA. The scientific researchers are proving amazing results. The doctors and researchers who worked on this data we collected, they say at least for 10 major diseases, Swamiji, the inner awakening can be prescribed as direct medicine. See, even allopathy medicines, if 30% of curing, they have some technical term, I forgot. The 30% is the ratio. Allopathy medicine is prescribed as a medicine for that particular disease. The researchers are saying for 10 major diseases, inner awakening works more than any allopathy medicines, more than 30%. And still I am yet to get the detailed report. When I get the detailed report, I will share with you all and with the whole world. Now I am saying the next step. I'll measure the weight of the engrams. It can be, it is possible. Ramakrishna used to do. He will hold the hand of a person and tell the person to be relaxed, and he will hold the hand and try to lift and see whether he is qualified for sannyas or samsara, or he is innocent or cunning, heavily loaded with engrams or simple, used to measure. It is possible. I'll prove this science. Engrams can be measured. That is it's actually a science. All I am doing during awakening of your Kundalini is just throwing away all the engrams out of your system. So naturally, your body feels light and starts levitating. That's the way the levitation happens. That is the reason the Kundalini awakening makes the levitation in your system. I tell you, every time you levitate, you are raising to the higher consciousness. Your body is healing. Your engrams are leaving your system. Your brain is going to the highest possible conscious coherence. And your mind is entering into the creative zone. Your being is experiencing the spiritual bliss, conscious bliss. Aligning to awakening happens in you when you work intensely for 12 hours continuously contemplating on the infinite. And if any of you are feeling that you are not levitating, take this as a process and technique. For next 2 months, 12 hours a day, work, physical and mental work intensely. You will see please understand, work 12 hours a day, meditating on infinite means unclutching, trying to unclutch continuously. Within 2 months you will see the intense Kundalini awakening in you, and you will be experiencing levitation every day. The levitation is an intense conscious experience which removes all the engrams from your system. Asana, the right posture, means aligning to awakening. Understand these ancient scriptures in the right way. Otherwise, misunderstanding in these words can lead to such a big danger. You will become heavy. Engrams, which makes you heavy, are dangerous. See, as a siddhi, if you become heavy, that is different. That is totally different. In the being, you will not be heavy, but you can just make your body heavy, that immovable. But because of your engram, when you become heavy, you will be deeply depressed. You will see levitation brings so much joy. Why? Because the engrams just leave your system. See the people who are levitating. and the amount of joy they radiate whole day, and the conscious coherence in which they live, creativity they express. That is why I tell you, our whole Sangha is entering into a new conscious zone, superconscious spirit, because of this levitation. Because when you all experience levitation, you are very consciousness enters into a higher creative zone. So now I don't have just, see, earlier our mission was run by some few hundred boys and girls from Indian villages. Now, few hundred creative levitators. Which is equivalent to thousands of ordinary workers. When a man experiences Kundalini awakening, he becomes a leader. He just picks up leadership qualities by himself. And he just aligns with the whole idea, concept, truth. Less depression, less psychological suffering, less tiredness, less fatigue. So naturally, all the great leadership qualities starts expressing. Creativity, hard work, smart work, intelligence, everything starts expressing. Above all, unselfishness. I'll push the Sangha to the next level. Means not just few hundred levitating yogis whose Kundalini is awakened. I'll push the Sangha now to the next level. Few thousand enlightened beings. This year, I'll make it happen. You will see many of my Swamis and Brahmacharis, in their presence, people will experience levitation. They will become such a solid Divya Sariris, they will go and initiate people into Samana process and people will experience levitation. The tremendous positive energy exploding through my system I could see. Actually, cosmos is taking revenge on the negativity. I am not doing anything. I am just sitting and enjoying. Cosmos is taking revenge on this collective negativity. In a very playful way, Cosmos is doing it. That is why, just a few days before, in the Yen Satsang, I said, I predicted earthquake in Los Angeles. When we digged out, we saw the moment I predicted, within 3 hours, there was an earthquake. And for some reason I blessed from Paduka Vibhuti will come. I think I just moved my hand in different direction. In Toronto, Paduka Vibhuti started coming. 3 cities. On January 2nd in India, January 1st in US. In 3 cities, New York and Mexico and Toronto. In 3 places, from Paduka Vibhuti has started coming. I am telling you honestly, I am not doing anything. I am just enjoying my restful awareness. The cosmos is doing left and right, expressing its energy intensely. I bless you all to achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, and share the eternal bliss. Nityananda. Thank you.